HelloFresh takes the guesswork and the extra hassle out of planning and preparing delicious meals for dinner. America's #1 meal kit, HelloFresh gives you over 40 recipes to choose from each week. And then your farm-fresh, pre-portioned seasonal ingredients arrive at your doorstep with simple instructions to help you feel like the master chef of your kitchen. And did you know that HelloFresh is cheaper than grocery shopping and 25% less expensive than takeout? HelloFresh has been an awesome addition to our household's dinner routine. We all get involved and cook together, following the pictured step-by-step instructions. It's a fun quality time, and the meals are delicious. Give it a try and see for yourself. Go to HelloFresh.com/50havingitall and use code 50havingitall for 50% off plus free shipping. Again, to get 50% off plus free shipping, go to HelloFresh.com/50havingitall and use code 50havingitall.
With the Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
This is your captain speaking. We've got clear runway and the weather's fine, but we're just going to circle up here a while and get lucky. No, nothing like that. It's just these cash prizes add up quick. So I suggest you sit back, keep your tray table upright, and start getting lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Welcome to the Having It All podcast, the show about what it takes to live an abundant, loving life. My name is Matthew Bivens, and each week I'm helping you get out of your head so that you can truly have it all. Let's do it. What's up? Welcome to the Having It All podcast. My name is Matthew Bivens, and I'm super excited that you're here hanging out with me for another beautiful conversation about creating, experiencing, and living your abundant, loving life. That's what the all stands for, by the way, in having it all. Abundant, loving life. So if you didn't know, now you do. Today's episode is, I actually need to put a little disclaimer. I curse in today's episode. Yeah. So if you're around some little ones, don't have them listen to this one. Just skip to the next one because I let loose a little bit, and I'm actually going to be sharing with you something I recorded on my phone a few days ago. So in the spur of the moment, I pulled out my phone and I just had something I needed to express. It was honestly an epiphany that I was having in the moment for myself. And when I was coming up with today's topic, I said, what would be really incredible? Let me share this personal realization that I had because I know it's going to impact and touch you. So that's what I'm going to be sharing later on in the episode. And again, I curse, I get real, I get raw. So be mindful of who is within earshot. To kick things off, let's share some magic. Let's talk about magical moments. Those moments when we influence ourselves, others, and life in an empowering way. I had a really awesome magical moment take place this past Wednesday. So every 90 days, I take a fitness assessment that's called a game day. I talked about my game days every once in a while on the show. And this past Wednesday, I took another game day. And so I have been doing game days quarterly for over 5 years. So I've taken a number of them. And through that time, I've progressed in the levels of the game day. So there's beginner, intermediate, advanced, pro, and all-star. And currently, I'm at the pro level. So I was taking my pro level game day this past Wednesday, and it was a humbling experience, like it can be. Like it definitely can be. The game day itself has 4 quarters, just to give you a little bit of context. The first quarter is all about your body composition. So, get my weight, kind of pinch my stomach and my arms and all that to get the body fat percentage and millimeters everywhere and do all that great stuff. The second quarter is all about strength. So there's 5 different strength areas that we go through. The third quarter is cardio. So it's all about, the endurance that we have. And the fourth quarter is flexibility. And no matter what level you're at, from beginner to all-star, your game day goes through those 4 quarters. But as you go up in the levels, the the challenge of what you're in increases, and the margin for you to, margin of error gets tighter and tighter. So I was taking my pro game day, and I was nervous going into it, which is kind of odd recently. Typically, I'm not nervous because I've done so many, but I was feeling nervous, and I was doubting myself. And so really the two areas that I was most nervous about were my squat holds and my pull-up hangs. Is that what it's called? I forgot what it's called. But the squat holds, I mean, you've probably done something like this in your life where you do like a wall sit. You put your butt against the wall, you slide down like you're sitting in a chair, legs are parallel to the floor, chest up, and you hold that position. Well, squat holds are a part of the game day, and in order for me to max that area, I need to do squat holds for, I believe, about 25 minutes of a minute on the minute, 15-second rest, minute, 15-second rest, minute, 15-second rest for 25 minutes. And last time I got around 16 or 17 minutes before I just called it quits. So I was pretty nervous. I was pretty nervous about squat holds because I know that, or I believe, and I definitely get that this belief creates my experience, but I don't max it out. I get about 2/3 of the way before my body gives out. So that means that I'm going to come into some mega discomfort. It's going to hurt. And I was super nervous about that. And so when I sat to my squat holds this past game day, my mind was in fear. I was all in my fear. And I felt my power just go away. As I was having those thoughts, as I'm 2 minutes in, 3 minutes in, 4 minutes in, I'm like, this hurts. This hurts already. I'm only 4 minutes into this thing, and I'm already hurting. How the heck am I going to get up to 16, 17 minutes so that I can at least do what I did last time? And those thoughts, I wasn't able to shake them, and they completely sabotaged my experience and completely sapped me of my power so that I stood up around the 12-minute mark. I called it quits on the 12-minute mark. And, making that choice, because I know it was a choice. I had the choice when it was 12 minutes to be like, let's keep rolling. And I went to sit down. I'm like, nah, I don't have it. So making that choice was frustrating. And I had a moment of just being pretty frustrated with it. And so I removed myself and went to the bathroom just to kind of collect myself. I looked in the mirror and I was like, hey, it's done. It's behind you. It's time for you to move on. And so it clicked for me and I got it. So I left the bathroom and jumped into the next exercise, which was the pull-ups, the pull-up hangs. And I maxed it out. And after that moment, I just went beast mode through the rest of the game day. So it was really magical for myself to be able to influence getting up when, after that squat hold kicked my butt. After I felt those thoughts that I haven't been training well, I haven't been eating right, I've been slacking on my habits, I've been slipping on my balance chart, I've been, whatever it is, right? All those thoughts that come in there, I can't do this. This hurts. I can't do this. Being able to push those aside because I had a job to do and I needed to move on and continue and go forward and crush it. And the run part was the area where I really stepped up, and I definitely inspired myself because I ran the farthest that I had. And so for the run portion on your pro game day, you run for 30 minutes. And it's how far can you run in 30 minutes? You max it out if you run 4.5 miles in 30 minutes. And the most I had ever done was 4.2 miles. And in this game day, I was like, you know what? After that squat hold, I'm going for it. And I'm not going to let these thoughts get in me. So I ended up running 4.23 miles, which is the most I've ever run in a game day in 30 minutes. And felt great. It was challenging. And those thoughts tried to come back in, but I wasn't having them this time. So that whole experience for me was absolutely magical. And, just it helps me to know that I can overcome those fear thoughts, those thoughts that I don't have it, that I haven't done enough, that I'm not enough, that whatever it is, I can overcome those thoughts, and those thoughts don't have to run me. Even if they do get in there and influence me for a little bit, that's not my constant state. and I can use love to really quiet those thoughts. So that's my magic. I appreciate you digging or hanging with me while I tell that story. And I posted it in the app, in the Your Day Balance Game app. So for all of you who are following me in there, you saw it posted. And I want to share a little bit of love. I got some love to share to one of you. There's been a lot of outreach this week from Instagram, through email, and really it's been Instagram and iTunes that have just been, you all have been flooding me with some messages this week, and it's beautiful. I love it. I love just getting into conversations with you all. And today I want to acknowledge one of you on iTunes. Let me pull it up real quick. See, this is me not being totally prepared, right? Because I was supposed to have it open so I can just jump right in and read it. But on iTunes, just got an amazing rating and review from a new listener. And this one comes from Juan for Cheap. And on September 27th, Juan, you wrote, "I feel extremely grateful to have come across this podcast. I downloaded the podcast app exactly a week ago, and all I've been doing is listening to your podcast. I love the magic you give at the start of every episode. It's truly inspiring. And thanks to you, I have learned to slow down and become more aware of my intentions in everything I do throughout the day. I signed up for the October Trust Challenge, dope, to make deposits every day. I'm highly looking forward to it. Thank you so much. Keep doing what you do because you rock at it." Woo, Juan, that's amazing. Man, I received that. I've got a huge smile on my face as I reread your review. And I appreciate you, man, for listening. I appreciate you for downloading the app, whatever podcast app you were tuning in on, and just checking out this podcast, and then taking a moment to go to iTunes and to write such a beautiful review and rating. And it means a lot. It really does. So Juan for Cheap, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. If you've got some love you want to send my way, some feedback you want to send my way, questions you want to send my way, or you just want to say what's up and you want to connect, please don't hold back. Reach out. You can connect with me on iTunes, like Juan for Cheap did, iTunes, aka Apple Podcasts. If you go there, please subscribe first, then leave your rating and review. You can connect with me on Instagram, Matthew_Bivens. My amazing wife, Sarah, is the one who does most of my posting, although I do get in there and post every once in a while. But I am the one who manages all the communication. So anytime you all DM me or mention me or do any of that stuff, you're going to hear back from me. And you can also email me, mattcbivens@gmail.com, 2 T's, mattcbivens@gmail.com. Hit me up. Let's get into a conversation. I love it. I appreciate all of you for listening. I really do. HelloFresh takes the guesswork and the extra hassle out of planning and preparing delicious meals for dinner. America's #1 meal kit, HelloFresh gives you over 40 recipes to choose from each week. And then your farm-fresh, pre-portioned seasonal ingredients arrive at your doorstep with simple instructions to help you feel like the master chef of your kitchen. And did you know that HelloFresh is cheaper than grocery shopping and 25% less expensive than takeout? HelloFresh has been an awesome addition to our household's dinner routine. We all get involved and cook together, following the pictured step-by-step instructions. It's a fun quality time, and the meals are delicious. Give it a try and see for yourself. Go to HelloFresh.com/50havingitall and use code 50havingitall for 50% off plus free shipping. Again, to get 50% off plus free shipping, go to HelloFresh.com/50havingitall and use code 50havingitall.
It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Like, are you a fist pumper, a woohooer, a hand clapper, a high fiver? I kind of like the high five, but if you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. At ChumbaCasino.com, choose from hundreds of social casino-style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses, so don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Before I jump into the episode and share with you this amazing audio that I recorded, I got to announce that the Trust Challenge is back. Oh my gosh, it's back. So in August of this year, 2018, a whole bunch of you and me signed up to make deposits in our personal trust account for an entire month. And it was incredible. We showed up for ourselves and we were building new habits in all sorts of areas. And really what we were doing was we were building our confidence to count on ourselves, to know that we can count on ourselves no matter what emotion comes up, no matter what circumstance comes up, that when we make a commitment, we follow through. We are people of integrity. So for the month of August, we were truly working on our character. And so many of you were impacted by it that I didn't want to wait long to bring it back around. So tomorrow, October 1st, 2018, we are kicking off the brand new Trust Challenge. And this time, we are rolling for 5 weeks. It's going to be 5 weeks of building up your confidence and your ability to show up for yourself. Because you probably don't miss showing up for others. If you're a parent, you probably show up constantly for your kids. I'm sure they're well fed. I'm sure they get their diapers changed if they wear them, or they get off to school if they're that age. I'm sure you show up for your spouse. I'm sure you show up for your family. But when it comes to you showing up for yourself, you make excuses and you justify breaking those promises to yourself. And you know what that results in? It results in you believing that you cannot count on yourself when things get tough, or when it really matters, or when your emotions come into play. And what that does is that impacts your ability to create your abundant, loving life. And folks, that stops now. It does. The Trust Challenge is simply designed, it's beautifully designed for you to begin showing up for yourself, building healthy habits, and growing your confidence in trusting yourself. Because once you can trust yourself, you can go and create whatever you want. Whatever you want, whether it's the relationship you want, the career you want, the family dynamics you want. When you can trust yourself that you will be powerful and be loving and be unwavering in the face of circumstance, in the face of other people's thoughts and opinions and judgments, in the face of your own emotions, when you know it doesn't matter, I'm still sticking to what I say and who I am, the world opens up to you. So on October 1st and for 5 weeks, we are going to be making deposits into our personal trust account. And I invite you to come along. It's 100% free. 100% free. All you have to do is go to MatthewBivens.com/trust. I have a little form that you fill out where you tell me what you're going to be doing for those 5 weeks. And each week on the 5 weeks, we're going to be focusing on a different area. For week 1, you're going to show up for yourself in your physical sphere. For week 2, you're showing up for yourself in your emotional sphere. Week 3, your mental sphere. Week 4, your social sphere. And week 5, your spiritual sphere. And when you go to my website, MatthewBivens.com/trust, I give you a bunch of examples, some things that you can commit to in each of those 5 areas. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be so awesome. That's why I'm taking a couple extra minutes here to talk about it. I can't wait. I truly can't wait. And I've got some other cool new things that I'm going to be adding to the Trust Challenge this time around that stems from feedback from you all. 80 of you joined last time. And a bunch of you gave me feedback afterwards. Things that you loved about it, things that you might want to see change. And I'm incorporating all of that. So, join us. Kicks off October 1st. 5 weeks of loving on yourself, of making deposits, of building your ability to count on yourself and show up no matter what. And again, it's totally, totally free. Just go to MatthewBivens.com/trust. You get all the information you need. You can sign up there. And I'm super pumped to see you all mañana. Yes. All right, cool. Let's get into today's episode. I want to start by saying that this entire podcast has been over the 2+ years. You know, it really has been an opportunity for me to walk my talk. It's been an opportunity for me to grow and transform and heal in all the areas that I said I wanted to make changes in. And I've used this show as a place to express and to open up and to practice being vulnerable and to practice being bold and to have courageous conversations and really to just explore for myself what living an abundant, loving life looks like and feels like. And today's episode, or what I'm going to be sharing with you in a minute, is one of those things that I'm pretty sure when I look back on this 6 months down the road, 2 years down the road, I'm going to say, wow, that's really evident of where you were in this moment of your life. And I know that I can do that right now. I can look back to earlier episodes on the podcast and say, wow, like that's where you were back in, January of 2017. Fascinating. Very cool. So what went down is a couple of days ago, I'm driving in my car. I'm listening to some Kendrick Lamar on Pandora. And something just hit me. Something just hit me. The realization that I had, it was very clear, and it was very simple, and it was that nobody is going to come rescue me. Nobody is going to come solve my problems and my challenges. Nobody is going to bestow me with riches and present to me all the things that I want. I realize that I have been waiting. I have been waiting for my payday. I have been waiting for someone to discover me through this very podcast. I have been waiting for an email in my inbox that says, I just found your show and I am completely blown away. I am the VP of blah, blah, blah at XYZ Media Company and I want to talk to you. I have been waiting for an old colleague, a contact, a friend to reach out to me with the perfect opportunity. I've been waiting for the book deal. I've been waiting for the speaking gig. I've been waiting for the invitation to come lead a workshop. I've been waiting for the things that I want to create an experience in my life to come to me from the outside, to be presented to me from somewhere else, from someone else. And I'm driving in my car and I have this realization, it clicks, that nobody is coming to rescue me. Nobody is coming to simply hand me those things. It was profound. And I continued to explore and I continued to dig. And one of the beliefs that I was able to uncover was this belief that I deserve it. That I've been putting in the work. That I have been, quote unquote, sacrificing without complaining. That I have been giving and giving and giving and giving for years. And so I deserve for that to come back at me. I've been producing this podcast for free, showing up every week, giving and giving and giving. I have been repping to the best of my ability what it looks like to live a PPC balanced life, where I make constant deposits into myself, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically. And I'm constantly working on those areas of myself where I recognize there's opportunities, while at the same time growing a business. And I'm doing all of these different things to show people that you can have the health and the wealth that you want. And I have this belief that I deserve it because I've been doing it. And so I think this is a great time to play the audio, because what was happening is, like, I'm driving down the road and that Kendrick Lamar song, I'm just kind of singing it, and it just, boom, it hit me. It is like, went through my body like, oh shit, that is a fascinating belief. Oh my goodness. And so I pulled out my phone and I just clipped it to my dashboard thing, and I just started talking. And so what you're going to hear is that raw audio. You hear me in the car. There's going to be some background noises. I think there's an ambulance that goes by, and you're listening to me as I'm driving to an appointment. So, hey, it's raw audio. And I didn't actually anticipate on posting this on this episode. This wasn't something I was intending on sharing. I simply wanted to express what I was feeling and felt the need to record it so I could listen back later. But hey, this is one of those things that we do on this show. We practice being fully transparent. That's why I had to put the disclaimer at the beginning, by the way, of cursing, because I was just letting it go while I was recording this. So, all right, this is what I had to say. This is what came out for me in the moment when that realization hit me. All right, this one is hitting real close to home. I don't know why I was inspired, where it came from, but I turned on the radio, listened to some Kendrick Lamar, and it just hit me. Nobody is going to come and bestow me with the money and the riches that I want. Nobody's going to do this stuff for me. There isn't going to be somebody who magically discovers the podcast and says, oh my gosh, we love your voice and your style and your energy and your courage and your vulnerability. Let's give you a TV show. Do you want to sign a 10-year deal, $1 million a year? That shit's not going to happen. That's not how things happen. There isn't going to be a moment where things just, by me sitting back, I'm going to receive an email one day and it just changes. I have this desire for that to happen. I have a huge desire to be surprised with a windfall. I do. And I am intimidated by entrepreneurs, by business people, by folks who've gone after something and been hyper focused on one thing and put in their heart, their tears, their blood, their sweat to make it happen. That intimidates me. It really does. And it also makes me feel confused at times. You know, it intimidates me because it seems hard. It seems challenging. And I want to say, well, I've already been doing that. I've been doing that for the past few years. I've been doing that with this podcast. I've been doing that in my life. That's me creating a bunch of excuses and denials, and me wanting to be the victim and blame external things, external factors for why I'm not experiencing what I want to experience in life, or what I say I want to experience in life, which is $15,000 a month. Majority of it coming passively, coming from product sales, coming from affiliates, coming from advertisements, people reaching out and seeking me out for speaking gigs, for workshops, for all sorts of things like that. That's what I want. And so when it doesn't happen, I get frustrated and I say, well, it must not be happening because blank, blank, blank. When really, it's on me, man. It's fucking on me. No one's gonna come and rescue me and just hand me these things. There's a part of me that knows this. And I think I just have to be with this feeling for long enough until it's like, nope, I'm done with it. I'm on to something else. I want a different experience. And for all these years, I've just wanted this experience of getting taste of it, getting a glimpse of it, and then maybe being afraid of what it could really look like. Being afraid of what it would really mean for me to apply myself fully, to go all fucking in on myself, to stop taking handouts and expecting handouts. My grandmother transitioned. I got money from her estate, a few $1,000s. It was basically what I needed to cover bills that month. And I have this belief that I'm always going to be taken care of. And up until now, it's always been the case. I've never had to go a month with no money. I've never had to cancel my cable because we couldn't afford it. You know, I never had to do those things. But I've also lived basically at my means my whole life. So it's just this really interesting dynamic, this really, paradigm, thought process, thought soup, where I have the belief that I'll be taken care of, but just enough. I'll be taken care of just where I need. And it's fascinating because I can go back and look at my budget spreadsheets over the past couple of years, and I can see that my expenses have gone up and my income has gone up just enough to meet it. It's always right there at that line. A few months, it's been well over. And then it goes right back down. And it's just such a clusterfuck of beliefs and thoughts around, well, when am I going to get that email that someone's going to say, oh, you're perfect for this position? When am I going to get that phone call when someone says, oh my gosh, we heard your show and we want you to come do a keynote. Here's $20,000 to come do a presentation. You pick the topic.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details. Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
I have this desire to want to have an editor reach out and say, oh my gosh, we love everything you're doing. Here's a book deal. Here's 10 grand up front and you get all this money every time someone buys. Like, I want that shit to happen. And driving in my car today, I'm like, fuck, no. Stop counting on that. Stop relying on that. Stop wishing for that. Stop hoping for that. Stop letting that be how I manifest the life that I want to live, the financial lifestyle I want to live. Stop letting that be it, because all of those things are completely external. I can't control any of those things. I can't control whether or not someone discovers me, whether an editor finds me, whether a person thinks I'm great for their event. I can't control any of that stuff. Yet, me having the lifestyle that I want to have, I'm putting in that place, in that external place. I'm putting it outside of myself. The ability for that to happen currently is outside of myself. And I get frustrated. And I share those frustrations with my business coach. And I share those frustrations in my mastermind. And I say, man, I just want to experience the financial piece that I know is possible. And I do know it's possible. I know it's way fucking more than possible. That is probable. But I also have this part of me that is like, it's going to happen on someone else's timeline. It's going to happen because somebody else is going to say, oh, I'm going to take a chance on that guy. And where I'm at right now, and where I'm at in this very conversation, I want to fucking reverse that and say it's going to happen because I'm going to make that happen. I'm going to go out and make that shit happen. Because I've just sat and thought, man, it's going to be nice to get a new car. Sarah and I have one car right now. It's a choice, of course. Everything's a choice. But also, if we were to get a second car, then it would be a very interesting experience to cut back for a little while and see what we wouldn't be choosing. And I have these thoughts, man, it would be great. I can't wait till I can have a new car. I got to drive my mom's rental car last week, and it was beautiful. I loved it. I was like, oh my gosh. I wonder when that will happen. That's the next thought. Oh my gosh, I can't wait for this. I wonder when it's going to happen. I wonder who's going to come along and give me an opportunity to spread my value, do my thing, and is going to compensate me so that I can go and buy that car. I wonder when that's going to happen. Boy, I hope that person finds me soon. That is I mean, if I follow the thread of those thoughts, that's where it goes. And right now I'm like, nah, that's not, no more of that shit. No more of that shit. Cause man, that's not what it is. That's not what it's about. That's not what I'm about. I'm not about just sitting back and waiting for somebody to decide it's my time. Hell no. So I'm so grateful that whatever clicked with me today clicked, because I needed it to click. I've been wanting it to click. And now I'm fucking ready, and I'm even more scared because now it's like, okay, go, jump. This is that fear, go. I don't even know what it looks like, but okay, all right. Message received. It puts a huge smile on my face, actually, when I listen to that again. I really like that ending. Message received. And as I was telling people about this realization that washed over me, a lot of the folks I was telling were kind of got the impression that I was beating myself up, or that it was kind of like a downer of a realization. And when I listen back to this, there's nothing but excitement coming through for me. And that's what I feel. That this type of thing that clicked in my mind is kind of like removing a blanket off of me, and now I can see a little bit more clearly. And yeah, it's scary, because now I need to, it's time for me to go out and step into those things that have been terrifying me, quite frankly. It's now time for me to trust myself. It's now time for me to step into those circumstances that are uncomfortable, that I might not feel prepared for, but to have confidence that I can show up and I can be powerful in whatever circumstance. And you know what? That excites me, because for so many years I've just had this mode of let's step into fears. And so I know exactly what's going to happen on the other side. Growth. Sweetness. Energy. Power. Love. All of that happens on the other side of stepping into those things that make me feel uncomfortable. And I like that I mentioned that car thing as well, because that was a real big, it sunk in reflecting on that. And I know that each one of you has a moment that you can reflect on where you've had a conversation in your mind, and now when you think about that conversation, you're like, wow. There's a lot of evidence of some certain beliefs, some limiting beliefs in my conversation. Because I totally remember driving my mom's rental car in Charleston. It's a nice 4Runner, 2018 4Runner. It's white. It's got all the nice bells and whistles. And I just remember thinking, boy, this is a nice car. Man, I'd love to have this car in my driveway. I hope that happens. Hope is such an interesting thing. It really is. And I actually looked up the definition of hope, and as you can imagine, there's a bunch of them. But one of them is a feeling of expectation and desire for a particular thing to happen. When I read that, it makes sense why having hope for me has influenced me to be stagnant, has influenced me to play small. Because that feeling of expectation, for me, can breed sitting back and waiting, expecting it to come. And that's the interesting thing, that like my relationship towards hope, that's something that now I'm more aware of. And I don't use the word hope very often, and I haven't. So it was really fascinating for when it came to something I desired in my life, and something that now I understand was connected to a belief that I'm not going to be able to have this unless the Toyota dealership decides that they want to hand me a car. It makes sense as to why I would use a word like hope. And so for you who has been listening, who heard, my recording and had it connect, because you recognize that you've been waiting, that you've been kind of sitting back, I just really want you to know, I'm going to hammer this point home, that whatever it is that you're wanting to experience, it's not going to come from the outside. Whatever it is that you're waiting for in your life, It's not going to be delivered at your doorstep. We just had a couple of Amazon packages that actually were delivered last night. Some diapers and soap and stuff for Maya. And it's great. It's perfect that Amazon came the other night, because with Amazon, Sarah had to go online, click on what she wanted, place her order, say, I want this. And then at some point, she had to click pay. She had to pay for it. The thing that she desired wasn't delivered unless she paid for it. Guess what? The same thing works with us. If there's something that you want in your life, you got to pay for it. You pay by stepping into your fears, by facing your traumas, by shining light on your most limiting beliefs about yourself and about your capacity. You pay through discomfort. You pay through testing your capacity. You pay through practicing love and abundance and grace, even when all you want to frickin' do is be jealous and scarce and angry. We pay for our abundant, loving lives by being the people that we know exist inside of us, but that we're too scared to be at times. That's how we pay. And so I know you're feeling right now the way that I did a few days ago, the way that I was feeling when I recorded that. And I know right now something's clicking. Message received. Whew. And I personally am very, very excited to be on the other side of those scarce thoughts. I really am. Because now I can really see what's in front of me. There's no distorted view. And now that I can see, I can wrap my mind around it, I can wrap my heart around it, it helps to turn those mountains back down into molehills. It helps to turn those things that I've been so intimidated by back into, it's just conversations. So what's actually clicking with me right now? In a few episodes ago, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 episodes ago, I talked about something in my business that was scaring me. And it was going out and being very proactive about approaching people whom I want to work with, whom I want to create business deals with, and going and making that happen. And there was a person in particular that I was intimidated by. And you know what? I said I was going to do it on the podcast. I was going to go and make it happen, and I didn't. I sent a little message here. I knocked on the back door there, but I did not go and make that shit happen the way that I said I would in that podcast episode. And I need to 100% own that on this right now in this conversation. Because that's that stuff. That's that stuff. I can speak it on the show, right? But then, the mic turns off and I go about my business and those fears kick back in. And so I'm happy actually that I remembered that, what I had said a few episodes ago. And if you listen to that episode, then you know what I'm talking about. It was a person I was like, I'm going to go and connect with this person. We're going to sit down. We're going to have coffee. I'm going to make this happen. And so just having that epiphany the other day, what I recorded and what you just heard, it's like, oh man, that's some of that makes sense. Yeah, I did just leave a little message and now I'm waiting for that person to come to me. Because I feel like I've done enough in our initial conversation and plant some seeds that, oh yeah, if it's meant to be, he'll come to me. I definitely have that belief sometimes. If it's meant to be, it will happen. And I also have this belief around patience, particularly with like the podcast, for example. You just chop wood, carry water. You just wax on, wax off. Just keep doing it. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. It doesn't make any sense right now, and it might be frustrating, and you might feel like, boy, there's no payday coming. There's no payoff coming. Why am I just chopping wood, carrying water? But you just keep doing it. You just keep doing it. You stay consistent, and you be patient, and then that's when the stuff happens. And, honestly, there's a little bit of conflict in me right now because I do believe that. I do believe in patience. I do believe that if things are meant to be, they're going to happen. But on the flip side of that, I believe you got to go. You got to take some massive action at times. And I know within myself, when I really think about it, I know that I've been waiting. I know that waiting comes from a place of fear. And that's the difference. It's one thing to be patient and to move from a space of love while still being patient. It's a different thing to be patient and sit back because you're scared. So if you've been waiting, if you've been hoping, if you've been counting on other people or other circumstances to hand you what it is you want, to create opportunities that you can then step into, for all of those things to happen, examine, is that coming from a place of love or coming from a place of fear? Because if a lot of what I've been talking about has resonated with you, then it probably has come from a place of fear, and it's time to engage. Message received. So this was cool. I appreciate you just hanging with me on an episode where, I had some outlines and stuff, but I kind of just wanted to go off a little bit and share with you something real time, pretty close to real time. That's been flooding my mind and my body and my spirit. And I know it's going to connect with you because we are out to create abundant, loving lives. We are not out to wait for abundant, loving lives to come to us. Got to be proactive. So, share with me where you've been waiting. Share with me where you've been hoping. Share with me where you have been okay with sitting back because you're scared. I would love to hear those limiting beliefs. And by you sharing them with me, we can both release them. You just let them go. And you can get into being proactive. You can get into being that person who experiences their life as abundant and loving. So connect with me. Share with me. mattcbivens@gmail.com or Instagram Matthew_Bivens. Let's get into a dialogue around it so that we can all just release it. So that as a community, we truly are experiencing abundant, loving lives. We truly are having it all. We're not just talking about it. It's so easy to talk about things. It's so easy to listen to podcasts and read books and then turn off your player, close the book, and go about your life being scared and scarce. It's easy to do that. But we're about being it here. So I'm excited for you. If you feel you need to work on your ability to step up for yourself, count on yourself, to work on your ability to love, then I encourage you again, join the Trust Challenge. Kicks off tomorrow, October 1st. It's going to be an amazing, amazing way for you, with the love and the support and the accountability of a community. It's going to be an amazing way for you to just make those deposits. Learn how to trust yourself. Build up your confidence. Build up your sense of self-worth. Because as you make those deposits, you're like, man, I'm so worth it. And then when you make a commitment and circumstance hits, you're like, no, I'm not breaking that commitment. I'm worth keeping my commitments. Holding my own word to myself. So sign up. Come hang out with us. Let's all just engage, right? Message received. Let's all do it. Let's all be it. All right. I'm complete. My name is Matthew Bivens. Here's to you having it all. Quick note about the Having It All podcast. I am not a doctor nor a licensed therapist. I'm a guy with a story and a passion for conscious conversation. My thoughts, opinions, and beliefs are my own. So please consult with your doctor or healthcare provider regarding any questions or issues you have related to your personal, physical, or mental health.
Hey guys, it is Ryan. I'm not sure if you know this about me, but I'm a bit of a fun fanatic when I can. I like to work, but I like fun too. It's a thing. And now the truth is out there. I can tell you about my favorite place to have fun. Chumba Casino. They have hundreds of social casino style games to choose from with new games released each week. You can play for free anytime, anywhere. And each day brings a new chance to collect daily bonuses. So join me in the fun. Sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.